Shalom, 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 yasha This your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called Storm and Tempest. Storm and Tempest. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called Storm and Tempest. All right. And this is from ABC News. This is about 3 hours ago. It says Melissa ties with two other storms for strongest hurricane to make landfall in Atlantic. It says Hurricane Melissa became one of the most powerful hurricanes on record to make landfall in the Atlantic basin. It says Melissa made landfall Tuesday afternoon in southwestern Jamaica near New Hope as a Category 5 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, according to the National Hurricane Center. The storm then swept across western Jamaica, bringing catastrophic winds, flash flooding, and storm surge throughout the island. Okay. It says the hurricane ranks in a three-way tie with Hurricane Dorian and the Labor Day hurricane of 1935. It says for the strongest sustained winds at landfall records show. It says Hurricane Dorian made landfall near Elbow Cay, Bahamas on September 6, 2019. It says with a maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. According to the National Weather Services, it is the strongest hurricane on record to make landfall in the Bahamas. It says Dorian destroyed thousands of homes and caused $3.4 billion in losses in the Bahamas, according to a report by the Inter-American Development Bank. At least 74 people perished as a result of the storm, according to the NHC. Okay, it says on September 2nd, 1935, the Labor Day hurricane also made landfall in Florida, the Florida Keys, with a maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, according to the National Hurricane Center. It says an estimated 409 people perished as a result of the storm, which destroyed most man-made structures across the Florida Keys, according to the Hurricane Science and Society website. It says in recent years, climate change has been supercharging tropical systems from in the Atlantic, right? And that's what they're always going to say. Climate change, global warming, this, that, and the other. We understand that this is all Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay, let's keep reading. It says hurricane caused climate change has led to significant warming of oceans, which provide the energy hurricanes need to form and intensify. Over 90% of the excess heat trapped by greenhouse gases has been absorbed by the ocean. The oceans, creating conditions that turn tropical storms into powerful hurricanes, resulting in more storms reaching Category 4 or 5 intensities, according to recent research. Right? They'll tell you whatever. Okay. Like I said, we know that it's the Lord visiting this place. Okay. It says, in addition, rising sea levels driven by melting ice caps and thermal expansion of seawater exacerbates the impact of storm surges, leading to significant coastal flooding. Climate change is also influencing the frequency of major storms. While the total number of hurricanes may not have increased, the frequency of major hurricanes of Category 3 and above has risen, scientists say. It says Hurricane Melissa is also the strongest storm in recorded history to make landfall in Jamaica after Hurricane Gilbert that struck the island as a Category 4 storm with maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour in September 1988. It says dangerous conditions for Melissa were expected to continue throughout the day on Tuesday, and those stuck on the island experiencing catastrophic storm. Rosmer Rios Berrios, a scientist in the National Center for Atmospheric Research, told ABC News, it says, as our oceans continue to warm due to climate change, storms are growing stronger and faster, producing heavier downpours and creating conditions that are increasingly more dangerous for communities. We urgently need immediate recovery programs as well as long-term solutions for more climate-resilient future. Melissa's winds were so strong that the hurricane hunters that flew into the eye of the storm were forced to turn back due to severe turbulence. It says the U.S. Air Force Reserve's 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron announced on Tuesday. The hurricane hunters also had to leave the storm early on Monday after experiencing severe turbulence, the National Hurricane Center said, right? They keep saying global warming, this, that, and the other. All right. We know that those who know that, these are signs that Yahawah is visiting this place, all right, before the ultimate day of his visitation, all right, when he sends his son, all right, to wreak havoc. Okay. But you see, like it was so bad, right, that the people who were the little hurricane and we know Esau has to come up with some scientific term for everything and some sign, not that the Lord is visiting the earth, all right, which he created, all right. But you see, they tried to chase the storm and it was too severe. All right. That turbulence, they probably up in there. That thing, had that plane drop, 1,000 feet in the air, But let's get this, okay? Let's get it just a couple of scriptures, and then we'll close it out. First, let's get 2nd Esdras. All right. 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou see part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, okay, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end. It says, and the end is manifest. It says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders of powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Okay. And you see, it says, have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works. It says in endings and effects and signs. All right. And these are some of the signs. All right. These hurricanes, these earthquakes that are happening, the uproars of the people is letting you know the time that we're living in. Okay. And they'll say that, well, this is due to the increase of the storms. No. All right. It's Yahawah, okay, visiting the world which he made. Okay. Plain and simple. All right. let's get let's get this real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah real quick. Salakia. Isaiah 29 and verse number 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Shai of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." Okay, because ultimately when the Lord comes, and he's coming and he's bringing fire and fury. All right, Isaiah 66. Okay, but I'm just using this, as far as, the storms, right? The Lord is, you see, there's been, the increase in the hurricanes and the category. All right, there's been tornadoes. All right, I mean, just like everything has been hitting Babylon the Great. And ultimately we know it's good. It'll probably move its way up towards here, but you see all these things are showing themselves on the earth. All right, you have just all types of different events. All right, I believe there is a if I'm not mistaken, there's a volcano that erupted recently, right? And these are things, right, you got to watch for. All right, these are not just, oh man, look, a volcano just, right? There's reasons for these things happening. Okay, there's reasons for these hurricanes coming. There's reasons for all these different things. All right, let's get this, and we'll probably close it out. This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, and we'll start at verse number 28. It says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them." It says, "Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance." Okay, so natural disaster, you got the fires, hail, right? Storms. Okay, you have food shortages. All right, either man-made or not. All right, famine. All right, you have, and ultimately death. All these were created for vengeance. It says, "The teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and swords, punishing the wicked to destruction." It says, "They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth when need is." And it says, "And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word." All right, now I want to read this in the NLT. All right, so we're talking about these hurricanes, with these winds. All right, and when you go to the GNT, all right, verse 28, it says, "There are winds that were created to bring punishment, fierce enough to move mountains." All right, and you got 185-mile-an-hour winds. All right, these hurricanes, man, and they just been, what was that? 2005, Hurricane Katrina. Ever since then, I mean, these things have just been bombarding. Okay, so it says, let me read that again. This is Ecclesiasticus 39 and verse 28, and this is in the GNT, or the Good News Translation. It says, "There are winds that were created to bring punishment, fierce enough to move mountains. In times of judgment, they unleash their strength and calm the anger of their maker." All right, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right? Not global warming. All right, not the greenhouse gases or whatever the hell else you want to talk about. Right? It's to appease the wrath of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, "Vicious animals, scorpions, and snakes, the sword that destroys the wicked, fire, hail, famine, and disease. These have all been created as punishments. They are glad to obey Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi command and are ready to serve him here on earth. When their time of duty come, they never disobey. Okay? So if there's their mission to, delete 74 people, that's what they're going to do, right? If it's 2 people that, hey, it was meant to delete those 2 people, okay? And understand that this is all part of the Lord's judgment. This is all part of the Lord visiting, okay, this place. All right? So you have, hurricanes is going to be more than that. All right? We've had eclipses. There's all types of stuff, man. Like if you're not looking and watching, all right, you're just going around about your life like it's nothing. And it was crazy, it's just another example that you got to continue to watch in this thing. Because one of my brothers had brought this up, after camp. He's like, yeah, it looks like this hurricane is about to, rise up. All right. And here you see, all right, this thing was a category 5 at 185 miles an hour. All right. And there's much more that the Lord is going to be using. All right. Be it animals, scorpions, snakes, fire, famine, disease, whatever it may be, right? You got disease, you got, monkeys that somehow, again, right? Seems like we're reliving 2019 again. All right. You had the outbreak monkey escape again. All right. With all types of diseases, right? And you see it all planning out again, man. All right. So listen, you got to keep watching. All right. Keep watching because, hey, this stuff is turning up. Okay. What more? All right. So I'll leave it at that. Right. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Kohala Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad, and mighty shalom to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another mighty shalom to the rest of the elect in the household of faith. All right, stay diligent, keep watching. All right, understand the times that we're living in. Okay, you got to keep watch. Okay, and endure until the end. Okay, and with that, we say a ball, and shalom.